What is going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks here, coming at you live with another trade recap for today on NVDA, following the BBR strategy. That is the bounce break reject strategy that I have developed and use on a daily basis to make consistent profits. And hopefully it comes across to you as easy too, and you can start to make consistent profits as well using the BBR strategy. Now, today we took NVIDIA both ways for calls and puts, ended up the day at $1,100. Um, First things first, I always put out a watch list every morning in the Wolves of Wealth Discord, as you can see here. But I also put these out every morning for my super followers. So it gives you two options depending on where you at. We have the full Discord, or you could just go ahead and super follow me and get these trade plans on a daily basis and bank with banks. Now, NVIDIA, the BBR strategy. What did I say? I said I want to take rejection off of a 155 to the 157 level for puts, or bounce at the 152 level for calls. Now, how did I find these levels? Well, when we use the BBR strategy, we're going to look for very big support and resistance, or supply and demand zones. We also look at previous days, highs and lows, and previous close as well. So we look at previous days, highs and lows, previous close, and then we look at pre-markets, highs and lows as well. So I'll go over that one more time. The BBR strategy, when you find your levels, they're going to be looking mostly at the previous days, highs and lows, and also the previous day's close, as well as the pre-market high and low. Now, as you can see here, it was perfect. We took calls. When I do like to take calls, I like to be at the money, in the money, or as close to the money as possible, because I like to play with a large amount and get in and out, shoot for that 20%. Right, guys? I don't look for holding. I don't look to take it long, play with a big amount so I can get a big, nice trade in. And I don't have to hold too long to get a nice size return, right, guys? So as you can see, 152 bounce was perfect at open. I took the 152.50 calls on NVIDIA. And then we also took the 155 puts as a reject once we got rejected at this level. Now you guys can see these levels, but again, how did I find these levels? Well, let me show you. How I got these levels was, let's take a look at the previous day, right? Let's take a look at the previous day first. So when we look at the previous day, as I said, the previous day high, the previous day low, and the previous day close. Now, the previous day high was null and void, meaning that it was not in play for today. We could have mapped it out, but considering the market and its bearish trend, once we broke down, we more likely weren't going to get to this level, especially when we didn't get there in pre-market. So what level was I looking at? Well, the 155 was pretty much the previous day's close, right? 155. We could also see that 155 was a big area that we couldn't get past, right? There was a lot of supply and demand in this area. Bulls and bears were fighting until the Bears finally won, but we could see we could not get above 155, right, guys? We could not get above 155. We also had a close around 155, as well as into after hours, pretty much flatlined at exactly 155. When we opened up in pre-market today, you could see how 155 was a big level. And we could also see that up to 157 was a level too, right? So that is why I had 155 to 157 as my reject level. And how I found 152 was not only a bounce in pre-market as the pre-market low, but it was also confirmed as a previous day low as well at 152. So as you can see, guys, this is a very, very simple strategy that is a very, very profitable strategy. You do not need to have all these ABC 1, 2, 3 lines to make money. All you need to know is supply, demand, support, and resistances, and you will be A-OK in the stock trading game. Now we can also take a look here, go to the 15-minute, or we could go to the 30 as well, because I do like to use the 30. Now let's go back to the 15. So on the 15-minute, we can also see these levels as well. So we can even draw these out for you. Let's go ahead, previous day close or previous day low. You know what I mean? 152. We also see that 155 was a very big level yesterday, right? Very big level. So once we got that fail, you can see that 155 it wasn't the high of the day, but it was the high from the low of the day, if that makes sense, right? It was the high of the low of the day that we couldn't get through. So we can go ahead and draw our 155 line here as well. Very simple. From here, we can also draw another line from the pre-market. I had 157. You can even go all the way up to this wick, but I had 157. So let's just go ahead and draw. It was right above here. I had it. So close to 157. As you know, we are in a zone, and you know me, 1 to 2 point zone. Don't make it 3 or 5 point zone. But as long as the stock trades in a 1 to 2 point zone, that's where you need to be. You do not need to focus on, oh, it needs to reject off of 155.46. No, that's not how you play stocks. How you play it is play them in the zones, because stocks play in the zones, right? So we have our levels here. Once we had our levels, once market open, we could see we bounced off of 152, rode the calls up, perfect reject off of 155 to ride the puts down, ending in a $1,100 day. Now, the bounce break reject strategy, guys, is mostly based off of what stocks do. They do 3 things, especially in the opening range of every morning. Stocks will always, always, always only do these 3 things. And those 3 things are: they will bounce at support, they will reject at resistance, and they will either break through support or they can break through resistance, guys. That is 3 things that stocks do. They don't do anything else but these 3 things. Hope you guys enjoyed this explanation of the NVDA trade recap. Again, you can find me in the Wolves of Wealth Discord or catch me on Twitter, and you can find these trade plans in my super followers. I will be giving these trade plans out every single day, and I will be giving these trade recaps out every single day. So be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube. Mr. Banks is out.